You know what nobody tells you about avoidant people? They don't actually want to be alone. They're just scared of what happens when they're not. Let me paint you a picture. An avoidant person ends things with you. Maybe they ghosted slowly, or maybe they just left. They told themselves they needed space, that you were too much, that they're better off solo. And for a while, they believe it. They feel this rush of relief. Freedom. No more texting back. No more making plans. No more being accountable to anyone. Life's easier, right? Wrong. When reality hits, 3 months pass, maybe 6. They're living their best independent life, doing whatever they want. And then one random Tuesday, they're eating dinner alone for the 15th night in a row. It hits them like a truck. They're not free. They're just lonely. That person who used to send them memes. Gone. The one who knew how they took their coffee. Dating someone new. The person who genuinely cared if they made it home safe. Moved on. And suddenly they realize they didn't leave because you were too much. They left because you were exactly enough, and that terrified them. The silent suffering hears. The thing about avoidant regret doesn't look like what you'd expect. They're not crying on your doorstep at midnight. They're not sending drunk texts. They're not posting sad songs on Instagram instead. They're scrolling through your profile at 2 a.m., driving past your favorite coffee shop, even though it's out of their way. Keeping one photo of you two buried in a folder they pretend doesn't exist. They want to reach out. God, they want to. But every time they try, their chest tightens, their hands shake, and their brain screams, abort mission. Because reaching out means admitting they need you. And admitting they need anyone? That goes against everything they've built their identity on. The war inside this is where it gets brutal. They're stuck between two truths. I miss them. I made a huge mistake. But what if I get hurt? What if I'm not enough? What if they reject me? So they do nothing. They sit with this quiet, gnawing regret that eats at them daily. They rationalize. I'm probably just romanticizing it. They're better off without me. It wouldn't have worked anyway. But deep down, they know they walked away from something real because real felt too dangerous. The tragedy, the saddest part, isn't that they lost you. It's that they lost you while fighting their own ability to love. They weren't running from you. They were running from the terrifying possibility that they might actually be worthy of being loved. And by the time they figure this out, you've usually moved on. You've healed. You found someone who doesn't treat intimacy like a threat. Can they change? Some do. Through therapy. Through hitting rock bottom. Through enough lonely nights that they finally realize their walls aren't protecting them, they're imprisoning them. But change requires something avoidants hate most: vulnerability. Real, raw, uncomfortable vulnerability. Not, hey, I've been thinking about you vulnerability. More like I'm scared, I self-sabotaged, I'm getting help, and I understand if it's too late vulnerability. And even then, you don't owe them anything. Regret doesn't erase the hurt they caused. The truth avoidants aren't heartless. They're people who learned that needing someone means getting hurt. So they decided to need no one. They do feel regret deeply, they just feel it alone. Behind walls so high even they can't see over them anymore. So yes, they know they messed up. The question is, will they do something about it, or will they keep running until there's nothing left to run from? Because knowing you were wrong is easy. Admitting it, that takes courage most avoidants are still learning to find.